they don't want us to know the truth.
Oh yeah?
Can I help? I'll only carry the good stuff. Just kidding. Bye.
Will in. What can I do you for?
How's it going? Can I help you? Hey, welcome to the Sidonia Trade Authority. Cool. That's what we do here. See you around.
If you're going to use the elevator, good to be back on board.
As the hero of Vectera, you need your own comic book, your own cartoon, your own... theme song. We have got to make this...
You've got something for me? Let's see what you've got. Talk to you later.
documentary about your life will be made into a movie? And who do you think will play me? Yes, Your Eminence? There was a small bit of dust on your shoulder. How dare it try to spoil perfection? But don't worry, I do it.
You're good enough to join our crew. A ballsy attitude like that'll go a long way with us. If you can back it up. If not, well, you know the rest. So, before I put you to work, let's get everything out in the open. I don't know if Adler mentioned it, and for his sake, I hope he hasn't. But you aren't about to sign up with any average pirate crew. You're signing up with the Crimson Fleet. That's if you get through this little task I have planned for you. There's a medical supply ship called the Ragana, jumping into Enceladus' orbit. On board that ship, you'll find a traitor named Austin Rake. I want him dead. This job isn't about the loot, but I suppose every dog needs its scraps. Keep whatever worthless junk is on that ship. just remember, the only thing that matters is that Rake dies. There's a lesson in this. I need you to learn what'll happen if you decide to turn your back on the fleet. Consider it your glimpse into a possible, unfortunate future. So you'd better pay close attention. Kill Rake? That's your only option? If you want my advice, there's only one way to guarantee he dies. Turn the Ragana into space junk. Only way to be sure. It's done when Rake stops breathing. Head back here when you're finished. And don't keep me waiting for long.
So that's the notorious Naeva. I have to say, if she's the finest that the Crimson Fleet has to offer, joining them might be a terrible mistake.
Rake used to run with the fleet. Hell, I'm the one who vouched for him in the first place. Back then he had a different name and a different identity. He was a damn good earner, too. Brought in a ton of creds. Everything was fine until he wanted out. So he ran. And nobody, nobody runs away from the fleet. I've been tracking Rake for months. He's making it tough, not gonna lie. He changes his location and identity so often, it's costing me a small fortune just to keep tabs. But you know what? It's worth every damn cred. He's made me look like a fool in front of Delgado, and I'm gonna have his head on a pike.
Pilot of the Ragana. We are a simple transport ship heading to New Homestead. We do not want any trouble. All right. And what are your intentions with these crewmen? Oh, God. I do not know.
Keep in mind, we're not threatening to board you. We're asking. The distinction is rather important.
Well, normally I would say no, but frankly, it will be safer for us that way. All right, you can dock. We will talk then.
I am not sure what to make of you being here. If you wanted to kill us, you could have done that from your ship. If you wanted our cargo, we could have jettisoned it. I guess I should just stop talking and let you say your piece. That is true. Which means you don't want somebody to know what you are really up to. Now, do you mind telling us what this is all about? I will not murder a man in cold blood. You will have to kill us all first. You are asking me to betray my own crew. Wait! You do not have to do that. Just give me more time to think. Alright, I will do it. I've got no love for the fleet. And if Rake was one of them, my loyalties with him end. But, if I do this, you have to promise to spare the rest of the crew, and leave the supplies for New Homestead.
Is that all it takes for you to flip on me, Dimitri? Unbelievable.
It is either you or all of us, Austin. I'm sorry.
Cut the crap and just admit it. You're a coward. You know, I almost bought it. All that crap about helping people and making a difference. But at the end of the day, you're no different from the fleet. When push comes to shove, you only care about yourself.
Glad that's over. See if they've got any weapons or ammo.
Was Austin really a member of the fleet?
I don't even know what to say.
He seems so normal.
He is dead. I do not know if I did the right thing. Not really. But we got along well enough. Funny thing is, I was praising the stars when he volunteered to help. Never thought in a million years it would turn out like this. He was also one of my crew, so no, I do not know if anything you said is true. You can leave now. I think you will understand when I say, I hope I never see you again.
Situation. I don't know if I even blame Rake after what the captain said.
This is terrible. I don't even know what to say.
Was Austin really a member of the fleet? But he seems so normal.
This is terrible. I don't even know what to say.
This is terrible. I don't even know what to say.
What an awful situation. I don't know if I even blame Rake after what the captain said.
Lifting off.
That ship will carry the memory of your visit forever.
it under control. But it definitely went faster after you jumped into the fight. Now tell me about the Ragana. Give me some good news, then we can go celebrate. You know what? I have no idea, and it's frustrating the hell out of me. I suppose I could have pissed off someone I screwed over in the past, but there's been so many, I've lost count. Mercenaries. Guns for hire that shoot their own parents if they were paid enough. I'll tell you, we do a hell of a lot of dirty work in the Crimson Fleet, but we'd never sell away our souls like an Ecliptic merc does. Huh. No kidding. That'll make Delgado happy, seeing as our hands are clean. I would have preferred if you hadn't left witnesses behind, but at least you got the job done. Anyway, you wanted into the Crimson Fleet? Well, you're in. Yep, it's that simple. Hope this business with Rake's taught you something. Because I'm about to stick my neck out and vouch for you. If you screw up, and I wind up looking like an asshole, I'm gonna send someone after you. We clear? You better stow that crap before you make me change my mind. Now that you know the deal, it's time to see what you signed up for. I'm gonna upload the coordinates for our headquarters in the Kryx system. Spacers call it the key, the fleet calls it home. Head out there as soon as you can. Don't keep me waiting long.
While we scan your ship's cargo. You're cleared to land. Enjoy your stay at Sidonia.
Seeing the hatches line up.
Look at all of this.
Commander Ikande wants to see you.
You see, SysDef certainly isn't taking the Crimson Fleet threat lightly.
I had a friend, Ragana. I hope I'll be able to see him next time we're on shore leave.
Heard Archangel flew in some top-secret program not too long ago. Wonder what he's doing here.
The commander's livid. Not sure what you did, but it's not good.
Sometimes we'll take the long-range fighters out for grav jump and patrol high-traffic orbitals for fleet.
At ease, soldier.
We received word you boarded the Ragana. I don't care if Rake was with the fleet. The pilot and his crew were not. What you did was uncalled for. Physically, I'm sure they'll be fine. But mentally, who's to say? They're long haulers, not soldiers. And they were forced to watch one of their own be executed in cold blood. You and I both know that seeing someone die firsthand, it changes you. Takes a mental toll. Things will never be the same for them again. I've already set up counseling support for the crew, should they feel the need. Given time, hopefully they'll be able to move past what they've seen. You coerced the pilot into taking a crew member's life. He had no choice but to comply. You cannot simply pass off the burden of the job whenever it suits you. Understood? The Crimson Fleet is motivated purely by material wealth. Bloodshed is typically a side effect of getting what they want. I believe you're fully capable of avoiding the need to take a life. But if it jeopardizes the mission, we'll evaluate when the time comes. Well said. Let's hope the next time your actions match the integrity of your words. Now I want to make this crystal clear. You do what you can to stay in the fleet, but there is an ethical line we cannot cross. Do something like this again, and you're out. Permanently. But for now, we will continue with the briefing. Were you at least able to join the fleet? It's a dangerous plan, and you came awfully close to killing more than just Rake. Thankfully, you at least managed to spare the rest of the crew. Now it's time for the next phase of the mission.
Our intel on Saoirse was correct. After we received reports on your interaction with Adler Kemp, we picked up on your rendezvous with Naeva.
Our files indicate she's second in command, so getting on her good side will ensure you get into the Crimson Fleet. The woman has a record that could stretch across Sol and back. She started young as one of Neon's street rats, and worked her way up to second in command. She's a force to be reckoned with, so don't underestimate her. Yes, you pass your first test and you're still alive. But before we get too confident, that either means she suspects nothing, or she intends to make an example of you later. Just remember, these are ruthless criminals, so don't let your guard down.
And their ruthlessness is only surpassed by their cunning. You should proceed with caution, regardless of how well you think you've ingratiated yourself.
So what's next for you on Naeva's agenda? Where you'll meet Delgado, no doubt.
Delgado is the leader of the Crimson Fleet. I have a profile here with some information on his background. You'll want to know the individual cadences of every member of the fleet, but Delgado's most of all.
Agreed. The last thing we need is to infiltrate the fleet, only to be kicked out because we've underestimated one of their people.
I don't disagree, but it's important to know your enemy, and the best way to defeat them. In any case, now that you're with the fleet, you'll be operating independently. We will shadow you eventually, but we'll need to maintain our distance for now, especially while you're on the key. This will also give us time to bolster our defenses, should we need to engage with the fleet in the future.
Sir, on that note, shall we begin implementing the upgrade to our shields?
Immediately, Lieutenant. Notify the engineers and relay the information to the crew. I hope your entry into the fleet has overcome any doubts you may have had regarding your mission. It certainly increased my estimates on success. Keep up the good work. We'll expect further reports. Dismissed.
Things are progressing rather quickly. I'm sure the commander is pleased.
Hey.
Okay. Hello.
Let's get this crate into space.
This is UC Security. Prepare to be scanned for contraband. And complete. Enjoy your stay in New Atlantis. Quick scan for contraband, and you can be on your way. You're good to go. Have a nice time in Aquila City. Acknowledged. Duck where you like.
Get out of my face.
You said the take was 10K, but it was 30. Big difference on 40% of 10 versus 30.
You wanted 4K, you got 4K. Not my problem.
If you're stealing from me, you bet your ass it's your problem.
You kidding me? Way to make a mess in front of my new Rook.
Hey. Steal from me and get caught? Better off dead.
Sounds like you did the fleet a favor. Now toss this body out of an airlock before it turns into a damn air freshener. The hell took you so long? Forget how to grav jump or something? Please. It'd be one less sloppy Rook whose mess I had to clean up. The last thing I need is another Austin Rake getting cold feet. You want to leave the fleet? You pay the price. Not in credits, but in blood. I don't care. Time is money and you've wasted both. That ends today. Clear? But all that aside, you made it. So now, you get to hear a nifty history lesson. Pencils ready? Good. This floating scrap heap you're standing on is called the Key. Used to be an old UC military star station, and now it's the fleet's base of operations. Might look a little beat up on the outside, but we keep it together. Sure did. Right out from under their noses. Way before you or I were born, though. We've held this station for a very long time. Don't worry. Delgado will tell you all about it. Oh, well, I'll get right on that. A few plans, some throw pillows, and maybe this place will meet with your approval. Okay, sunshine?
While you're drawing up a list, some air freshener would be nice as well.
Anyway, I'll tell you all about the Key. But it's better if I show you too. Follow me. All right, history time. So, the Key is in orbit around Suvorov. That's the very same ice ball where the United The UC is so clever. Supermax prison, lock, key. Cute, huh?
Hello, everyone. I'm Gail Dunnigan of SSNN, and this is Galactalk. My guest tonight is one of the most notorious criminals in the settled systems. His ruthlessness and desire for wealth has landed him squarely at the top of the wanted list for every major law enforcement agency in the galaxy. I am, of course, speaking of the self-appointed leader of the Crimson Fleet himself, Jasper Kryx. Good evening, Mr. Kryx.
Good evening, Gail. Thank you for accepting my invitation.
Yes, well, being blindfolded and then grav-jumped to what appears to be an abandoned mining facility isn't exactly what I call an invitation.
Well, I'm sure you're not surprised that your request for an interview would come with some very specific conditions.
Frankly, I was a bit surprised to receive any type of response at all. Would you mind telling me why you decided to do this interview?
Because there comes a time in every pirate's life where they have to make an extremely important decision. Do they take a leap and become one of the most legendary pirates in history? Or do they simply sputter on, subsisting on freighters and deep space privateers?
So are we to assume that you are taking the leap? That Jasper Kryx is moving on to bigger and better things in his life?
That's spot on, Gale. That's exactly why you're here.
Interesting. Well then, would you mind sharing with us exactly what your particular leap entails?
In due time. There's no rush. In fact, I'd say we have at least 12 hours before the authorities trace this broadcast. Plenty of time to discuss whatever you like.
Oh, all right then. Perhaps the best place to start this interview would be at the beginning of your career.
Please, proceed.
Now, we've got everything the fleet needs right here. Of course, you've got to pay for it. Remember, on the key, credits are king. What the hell is this?
All right, hang on, Nev. Before you get pissed, I've got my hands full.
Jasmine, sweetie, I'm trying to give a tour here. So you want to tell me why those damn doors are sealed?
It's called a malfunction. You know, that thing I spend most of my day dealing with. Believe me, my people are on it. Have a little faith for once.
Aw. And you always, Angel. This here's Jasmine. You need anything for your ship, she's got you covered. We'll hit up the depot next since these doors have given out on us. So anyway, we were talking about the lock. About 100 years ago, the prisoners down there rioted and took over the place. After stealing some ships, they were actually able to make it up here and took over the key.
About time you brought us new blood, Naeva. I was getting tired of trading with the same old faces.
You're just ticked everyone's getting wise to your ridiculous prices, Aludra. Anyway, welcome to the depot, Rook, where you'll be lucky if these blood-sucking leeches don't bleed you completely dry.
Whoa, whoa. It's not our fault that people don't appreciate how much it costs to get untraceable merchandise onto the key.
Naeva's just whining because she thinks she lost a ton of cash selling us a shipment of gear. She should have done her homework.
Yeah, sure, laugh it up. I'll remember that next time I need something from you cheapskates. Let's move on. Back to my story. After the liberated prisoners grabbed the key, they established it as a base of operations and began pirating the spaceways. That was how the Crimson Fleet began. Of course, Jasper Kryx had a lot to do with all that, but we'll get to him later. Rook, meet Zuri, Queen of the Rare Exports.
If I don't have it, you don't need it.
Neuroamps, blueprints. Hit her up and she'll take care of you.
Speaking of which, you still owe me for that last purchase, Naeva. It's like 5 figures. Don't make me collect it the hard way.
The hard way? Oh no. Rook, protect me from Zuri's vengeance. Enough of the bullshit, Zuri. I'll pay you when I pay you. Deal with it. Got a problem with that? Take it up with the boss. On the right, you've got Bradley from the Trade Authority. I'm sure you know the deal there. He'll buy pretty much anything, no matter how hot. Then we got our med bay on the left, run by the one and only Samina Mizra. She'll patch you up, if you've got the money. We don't run any free clinics up in here, you don't? Okay, this is our final stop. Over there, you've got the last Nova, where Bog serves watered-down drinks at ridiculously exorbitant prices. And right here is the most important place on the entire station. The Reckoner's core, run by the incomparable Shinya Voss.
Another new Rook, Naeva? I can't believe Delgado still lets you recruit given what happened with the last one.
You mean Austin Rake? It's been taken care of, all right? I don't like loose ends, and this Rook is the one who tied it off.
Perhaps next time you'll try to be a bit more discerning regarding your choices. It's far more cost-effective.
Yeah, love you too, darling. Anyway, Shinya handles our lifeblood. The money. We call him our reckoner, but if you ask me, he's actually a pain in the ass.
And Naeva will slit your throat if she thinks you'll bleed creds.
Go to hell, Voss. Take care of our new friend here, or I'll find a way to pull the pin on that little party popper in your chest. Anyway, Shinya will get you set up in our system. I've got real work to do. Once you're done, head upstairs and I'll introduce you to the boss.
Time for a proper introduction. I am Shinya Voss, the official reckoner for the Crimson Fleet. And since Naeva so thoughtfully mentioned it, yes, this is a bomb embedded in my chest. And no, I'll never know the meaning of the word humble. In fact, I find Delgado's idea of a security measure to be quite empowering. I see the bomb as a symbol of my importance, and it's a constant reminder to everyone of the sacrifice I was willing to make. The freedom I've given up, the pain, it's not something that just anyone has the resolve to bear.
He sees that bomb as a badge of honor. I see it as a symbol of compliance. Delgado is a harsh master.
Exactly the lengths we're willing to go to protect ourselves. Since I oversee the bulk of transactions and maintain all accounts for the fleet, I'm a prime target for information. Should our enemies capture me or I grew any semblance of a moral conscience, you might consider me the greatest threat we have. For Delgado, the bomb grants peace of mind and a certain degree of safety. Essentially, but I sleep soundly knowing I'm one of the few that can piss Delgado off and live. Should I die, all of my knowledge, the accounts, the credits, it would be a mess. He wouldn't dare. He holds the trigger, but we all know that my death cripples the fleet. Call the bomb a weapon of last resort. It's been over 5 years since I've stepped off the key. Leaving this place puts far too much at risk. Now, let me get you set up. A moment while I convene with the core. Thanks to advanced modifications even Eugen would envy, I can interface directly with our mainframe and the Galbank network. This allows me to move and clean credits faster and more efficiently than any run-of-the-mill cyber runner. There, you're done. All you need now is Delgado's blessing, and you'll be one of us. None. Other than my chest and arm modifications, I am but a simple man. Is the interview over now? Can we get back to work? The perfect segue into my final subject. Thanks to our relations with contacts across the galaxy, we always have a steady stream of jobs available. I've granted you all the necessary permissions to access these listings at any time. using the computers that surround the core. Oh, you know, smuggling, piracy, taking things that aren't yours. Nothing that should keep you up at night. Well, depending on your methods. If Naeva's chosen wisely, we certainly will. Now, I believe that covers all I have to say, so you can run along to Delgado. Take the elevator to the upper level. You should be able to find your way from there, I hope.
Alright, listen up. You can all stop complaining. Atrium to cargo bay doors.
If you got any spare creds, or just need to unload some junk,
And you're
head to
welcome,
the depot.
Nav.
Soon, everyone is going to learn to fear the fleet. Where did your stellar rise to infamy begin?
In the streets of New Atlantis. No parents, no godparents. Just a homeless punk kid robbing whoever he could for the credits.
Were these violent crimes? Murders?
I'm a bit offended you even asked that question, Gale. Sure, a few people here and there walked away with injuries, but I'm not some kind of butcher.
That doesn't sound as heartless as your reputation would imply.
Well, like I said, I was just a kid.
Were you ever caught by the authorities in New Atlantis?
Oh, dozens of times. But I'd just give them a fake name, or they just slap me on the wrist and send me on my way. They obviously didn't think that I'd amount to anything, and didn't want to waste their time with rehabilitation.
What changed that? Was it the robbery in 2218?
2218. Oh, yeah. The Galbank archives. Very good, Gale. I see you've done your research. That would be when I rounded up a few of my buddies and we knocked the place over. Made off with a ton of credits. My first big score.
Is that why the Crimson Scar decided to bring you into their ranks?
That's right. They brought me in, taught me the ropes, and I did crimes for them for 5 years. Till I decided I wanted more. I got rid of their leader, put myself in his place, and started running the show. I've been the one in charge ever since.
Was it absolutely necessary to cut his throat and leave the body on a public street in the well?
On the street, reputation is everything. I wanted everyone in the city to know that Jasper Kryx was taking over. I think they got the message.
Any lifting later, I can spot you.
Rook.
You want to survive? My gear may not be bulletproof, but it's damn near close.
Looking to make quick work of your enemies?
That last job didn't pan out. I need something bigger. Need something?
As long as you put the fleet first, we won't have any problems.
So, tell us about Jasper Kryx's version of the Crimson Scar.
All I can tell you is that under my guidance, the Crimson Scar became more influential than every other syndicate combined. Here I was, 22 years old, and I had power, people that followed my orders, and an endless stream of credits. Gale, I have to tell you, I was having the time of my life.
So you'd consider extortion, robbery, burglary, kidnapping, assault, and murder to be positive life influences?
No. I'd consider them as just means to an end. Those so-called crimes were merely stepping stones until I had enough wealth to buy the Crimson Scar a few spacecraft.
Yes, let's talk about that. It appears you weren't satisfied with terrorizing New Atlantis alone.
Oh, I've never stopped reaching, Gale. The amount of money we were making in New Atlantis was decent, but the really big scores were in space, on the cargo ships. We're talking millions of credits, maybe more. Who the hell could count it all?
Most people assume this is when the UC decided to actively set up a task force to pursue the Crimson Scar.
That's correct. Those idiots in charge of the United Colonies were clearly embarrassed that they had allowed the Crimson Scar to make the jump into space. They sent ships after us. Lots of ships. I almost think that they enjoy starting wars.
Perhaps this was the first time you had finally reached too far.
You could say that. I count my time running the Crimson Scar as a learning experience. I wouldn't say I reached too far. I'd say I reached too fast. Didn't cover all my bases. Made some stupid mistakes. One thing's for certain, though. When I was finally arrested and thrown into the lock, I had plenty to think about.
Done that before.
Ask Jazz about any ship upgrades. Nothing worse than a pirate ship with no personality. Yeah?
Our other new recruit. So, now that we are all here, it's time to get down to business. The two of you are the only Rooks that have made the latest cut. The rest, well, let's just say they won't be joining us ever again. Naeva's willing to put her neck on the line and vouch for you, which means you've got what it takes to join the Crimson Fleet. You'd better not disappoint, or you'll find yourself answering to me, personally. All right, let's get started here. When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, you're in it for the long haul. No one quits. No one retires. The only way out is death. You stay loyal or you pay the consequences. Fleet before friends. Fleet before family. Fleet before yourself. Of course we have rules. If you think the Crimson Fleet was built on a lawless dream, think again. Our influence, our money, our respect comes from meticulous planning and every last soul in the fleet following my orders to the letter. That is why you need to learn to place the fleet before everything.
Hey, if you've got a problem, I can decorate that wall behind you with your brains. Room could use a little color if you ask me.
It's all right, Naeva. I admire this Rook's backbone. Takes a lot of guts to crack jokes with the threat of death staring them in the face.
Can we get on with this? I want to get drunk at the last Nova.
I'm impressed. That is the first intelligent thing you have said this entire time, Mathis. Since you two seem so eager to move forward, let's get to your next job. Pack your cold weather gear, Rooks. Where we are going, you're going to need it.
Oh, God, don't tell me you're dragging him down to Suvorov for another one of your little initiation runs. 10 Johns to the surface, 12 dead Rooks. You'd think by now you would have given up on that goddamn campfire story.
Kryx's legacy is no story, Naeva. We've got fresh eyes in the fleet. And if these two want to impress, they're going to help me search those ruins.
I hope you're right, Dale. That new code we grabbed for the lot cost us a ton of credits. And a decent captain.
This initiation, as Naeva calls it, is your chance to see where it all began. On Suvorov with Jasper Kryx. Kryx led the riots that gave birth to the Crimson Fleet. And if his legacy is still out there, we're going to be the ones to find it. What? Were you expecting a goddamn graduation ceremony? Think I'm just going to slap a skull on you and send you on your way? Make no mistake, you are being tested all the time. Every job you take will be under constant scrutiny. And Naeva? Oh, she's just waiting for you to screw things up. Of course. Where else could I find such a perfect location to weed out any Rooks who'd be wasting the fleet's time? Through a bit of luck and a hell of a lot of cash, Naeva was able to get her hands on an access code to the inside of the lock. This will be the first time someone from the Crimson Fleet has set foot in there for, well, since Kryx left the place behind. It has been frustrating being this close to potential clues, but not being able to find a way through those prison walls. Before Kryx left the fleet, he left a message talking about a major score. One that would set up the fleet to be a big player in the settled systems. Somewhere down the line, they started calling it Kryx's legacy. And everyone who's tried to find it has wound up empty-handed, missing, or dead. If we're gonna beat those odds, we'll first need a lead. And I would wager we will find one on Suvorov.
Dale's leaving out the best part. That this whole search is based on a handful of words on a very old slate. Kryx left a lot of big talk on that recording, and not a lot of facts. Some of us believe in it more than others.
Don't listen to her. When we get our hands on Kryx's legacy, the fleet will be operating at a completely different level. We will become more than a match for UC SysDef. You forget the UC is still licking its wounds from the colony wars. They don't have the capability to mount a full-scale assault. And if they were foolish enough to attack, we would have the manpower to push those pendejos right back to Jemison. If we have Kryx's legacy. Listen to the words that I am saying. The legacy is real. You will find that out in due time, provided you're willing to put in the work. Nothing worth having ever comes easy.
Though the idea of the legacy has probably been blown a bit out of proportion, I'm certain there's an element of truth to its existence.
Exactly. Now you're beginning to understand. Okay, enough discussion. We have got a lot of work to do. To that end, the next stop is the lock. I've had Jazz feed the coordinates into your ship's computer. Since Mathis doesn't have a ship, he's going to ride with me. I'll see you down there, Rook. Don't keep me waiting.
I got that credits. I'll probably feel better once I spend them.
Tell us about your arrest.
Oh, my arrest was spectacular. Definitely one for the record books. UC Security sent an armada after our little fleet of ships and picked us off one by one until the remainder of us made it to the wheel.
For a listener's benefit, that was the star station in orbit around Voli that you destroyed just before your arrest, correct?
You see, that's what they'd have you believe, but the truth is much less sinister. There was a firefight on the wheel when they tried to bring us in. We holed up, but UC Security unleashed hell. The damage they caused was catastrophic. We only surrendered so we wouldn't die when the station exploded.
Well, the UC says you set demolition charges to try and cover your tracks and make your escape.
That's their story. You'll have to go with your gut on what you think really happened. Anyway, they took us in and tossed us into the lock. That lovely resort they opened on Suvorov.
And you were imprisoned there for how long?
Well, it was supposed to be for life, Gale. But I ended up serving 2 years before I decided I'd had enough.
Is there any particular reason that you started the riots that eventually led to the worst prison break in United Colonies history?
Yes. I'm quite proud of that, actually. I honestly didn't think it would go as ridiculously bad and no one cared. That's why they stuck us on that ice ball in the first place. Out of sight, out of mind.
Your escape caused the deaths of many that were stationed at the lock. Some would brand that as a bit dismissive for what you're describing as a protest. If you were simply advocating for your fellow inmates, why didn't you just go through the proper channels?
And what the hell was I supposed to do? Send a strongly worded letter to my duly appointed representative? Wake up. The UC only responds to actions, not words. In my mind, there was no other choice. You know what? Let's move past my time at the lock so we can get to the point of this goddamned interview.
Glad that job's finally over. The UC will never stop chasing us. Yeah, good thing we lost him in that asteroid belt. Really brought your A-game. That was pure luck. I nearly pissed myself back there. No shit. Could have fooled me. As far as I'm concerned, you're the best damn pilot in the fleet, and drinks are on me. Are you looking to start something? Because I'll finish it. Ooh, this job is gonna rake in a ton of credits.
Every captain here's earned their stripes, bleeding for the fleet.
We may not have official security on the key, but we are always looking out for traitors.
Rook? Believe how much gear's costing us now? We got into military convoys or something.
Yeah, well, easier said than done. We end up on the wrong side of a SysDef.
The fleet protects our own. You turn against us, and you're dead. I hope Bug has something strong enough to knock me out.
I don't trust shielding. I got secret compartments on my ship just in case.
The fleet protects our own, but you turn against us, and you are dead.
I don't know about you, but I think the welcome sign really lends itself to the alluring charm of this star station.
So there I am. You see security on my tail, and my grav drive just jokes. And you know what I find back there? The fattest leech I've ever seen. One nearly got me dusted.
Bog's a softie, if you get to know him.
If you need credits, hit up the mission boards at the core.
Some people drink coffee to wake up. Me? I have Bob pour me a shot of whiskey and never go to sleep. Rook.
If I had a Birion crest, I'd run my own city, like Bayou. Except in my town, you could do Aurora anywhere.
I need another drink.
My friend's got a point, Bob. Every pirate in this joint needs to be a drink.
Seems to me, instead of trawling deep space for stick change, we got a much bigger target right here at home. The fleet is family.
A lot of jingle.
Stealing from each other is just what you call a professional courtesy.
Mods from Jazz or weapons from a leader? But here's what spend money to make money.
Not today, not today.
I've got bounties in every system. Aliens will never catch me.
Joe was either joining the fleet
got you.
Certainly. Let's talk about something else. How did the Crimson Scar become the Crimson Fleet?
After I busted out of the lock, I decided to take things to the next level. I had the key, a few UC ships, and a couple dozen ex-cons at my side. But I needed more, so I sent out the call. Once word got around, it didn't take long for freelance pirates from every corner of the settled systems to show up.
And this is how the Crimson Fleet was born.
Exactly. The key became our base of operations. We spent months reinforcing our position there, making it nearly impossible to approach.
What was the UC's response to the situation?
First of all, UC Security gave up and handed the reins over to the big guns, the UC Navy. The Navy, in turn, sent ships to attack the key. I'd say there have been 3 major attacks over the last few years. And as you can tell by the fact we're having this interview, all the attacks were embarrassing failures.
Do you feel these embarrassing failures led them to form UC SysDef?
Absolutely. They've clearly given up and decided to shove the responsibility onto a separate division. That way, in the public eye, the UC Navy can move forward, proud and strong, while UC SysDef continually takes all the blame. It's all about PR spin for them, Gale. That's how the UC operates. Kinda disgusting, don't you think?
Sounds a bit like you're trying to deflect attention off the atrocities the Crimson Fleet commits on a daily basis.
Atrocities, huh? How about fighting the Freestar Collective over a bunch of rocks hanging in space? How about thousands of people dying while a bunch of pencil-pushing bastards sit in a cushy office and draw lines on a star map? Maybe the United Colonies should stop the bullshit and take a hard look in the mirror to see who the monsters really are.
But here, it's a competition.
Yeah. You looking to start something?
I know it's difficult to resist, but try not to pick any fights while we're here.
Always listen to Delgado, unless you want to get killed across the key.
Need a drink? Bog at the Last Nova will be more than happy to take your credits.
You've got stuff to smuggle, I've got the stuff to hide it.
Hey, champ. I'm including this month's list of parts I need for the key. Don't bust a gut, it's hefty, but I know you can handle it. I'm gonna need a lot more than usual this time. I'm planning to overhaul the entire electrical system before it completely shorts out. Oh yeah, thanks for sending over the key's reactor specs. I can't tell you exactly why I needed those. Del said to keep it hush-hush. As far as next month's shipment, start scrounging up some parts so I can spruce up our defensive batteries. They're looking kind of rusty. Well, I guess that's it for now. I'll have my people in New Atlantis drop off the payment at the spaceport. Just make sure you aren't being followed. We wouldn't want the UC to know they're providing replacement parts to the Crimson Fleet.
So, looks like we got ourselves a new Rook. Once again, I'm Jazz, resident engineer here. Like Naeva said, you need ship parts, repairs? I'll hook you up. As long as your credits are good. Naeva's the only one who calls me that, amongst other things. To you and everyone else, it's just plain old Jazz. Naeva's mine, so don't be getting any ideas. She may be a little rough around the edges, but she's just looking out for her own. There's no one better to have your back. Well, it did when I first got here. Most of these folks aren't too keen on maintenance. Today, the key's about as safe as any other UC station, just with a hell of a lot more personality. I can guarantee your ship will be in good hands, so if you're looking for an upgrade, let me know. We got the best selection in the settled systems. Illegal, unregistered, recalled. We sell it all. No questions asked. No. You buy from me, you're worry-free. I can't have my customers getting caught now, can I? That's bad for business. Anything that keeps the UC and Freestar Rangers off your tail is a must-have in my book. Just let me know when you want to talk business. Take care of your ship, she'll take care of you.
My guns could use a bit of work too.
Smuggling beats a real job any day. You see SysDef sharks, but to the fleet, they're just bait. Isla's sister is some hardcore mercenary. I wouldn't get on her bad side.
Looks tough enough to stop a bullet, or worse.
Samina can do more than patch you up. She's got a drugs of every kind, if you know what I mean.
Is this important? Because I'm pretty sure you've been given orders. Don't you have business on Suvorov?
Were my instructions unclear? What do you want?
Tell us what the future holds for the Crimson Fleet.
Changes are coming, Gale. Huge changes. Crimson Fleet will soon be a much bigger player in this little game between the members of the settled systems.
That's quite a bold statement. Would you care to elaborate?
Well, let's just say that I'm on the brink of a score so large, it makes everything else pale in comparison. Beyond that, you'll just have to wait and see.
If you aren't willing to discuss the details, why grant SSNN this interview?
Simple. I refuse to allow the UC to spin or bury the story, making it sound like they're in complete control of the situation. I'm gonna tell you right now, they aren't.
Why does the Crimson Fleet need to make this mysterious move that you're being so evasive about?
I know SysDef instructed you to draw this meeting out as long as possible. So let me sum this up. I intend to make sure that the Crimson Fleet becomes the United Colony's worst nightmare. And nothing, I mean nothing in this universe, will stop me from achieving that goal.
There are those that would disagree with you and claim this interview is grandstanding, or worse, a recruitment tool. After all, SSNN reaches every corner of the settled systems, and your aspirations could inspire the Directionalists to turn to the fleet.
You and the sheep that listen to your garbage can believe whatever the hell you want. If you were so worried about what I had to say, you wouldn't have allowed yourself to be brought here.
I thought Delgado needed you on the planet. Why are you talking to me?
Long live the fleet.
Before you hit something, you'll regret it.
And the Rook had to dress up as a monk to find him.
No, it was some kind of multi-level marketing cult. Naeva had to call our contacts in Neon just to get... The Rook at the door.
You know, you could just ask the Rook. They're right there.
And get caught up in some pyramid scheme. No thank you. Smuggling beats a real job any day.
Is too high when it comes to protection, right? Now you buy from me, you can look good and protect your ass at the same time. It's a twofer. What, me? Nah, not anymore. When it comes to aim, there ain't no one worse. True facts. I mean, my friends like to say I'd have better luck talking someone to death than shooting them. Yep, my talents are best suited for making protective gear. Helmets, vests, suits. You could say I'm a tailor, not a fighter. I'm sure I got something to suit your needs. I'm here if you need me.
Weapons for all occasions.
Still have nightmares about that job in Cheyenne.
Well. Naeva's new hotshot. I knew you'd find your way back to my little corner of the key. Everyone always does. Take a look around, genius. And don't tell me you've never laid eyes on a gun before. But just in case I need to spell it out for you, the merch I carry is known as weapons and ammunition. Get it? Hey, if you want to pour credits into my pocket, you won't hear any arguments from me. I carry most of the standard hardware. You know, kinetics, electromags, energy, even a few explosives. Occasionally, I stock a few smuggled items. Basically the stuff SysDef doesn't want you to play with. Just don't screw me over or I'll be inclined to give you a free demo. With your head as the target. We all have trust issues here. A little advice, Sadiqi? The fleet's trust can't be bought. You earn it. You bleed for the fleet bleeds for you. Pure and simple. Anyone who says otherwise is either lying or getting ready to stab you in the back. Don't say I never did you any favors. I'd argue Boggs got me beat as far as customer base goes. But when it comes to profit, I am on top. A good gun's what makes all the difference out there sometimes. And for some, it's the only thing they'll ever trust. I bet I have something that will catch your eye. All right. See you around.
Kinetics, electromags, energy weapons, nothing.
You might find a deal or two here. If you can overlook the spatters of blood covering all the stolen goods, of course. Taken that from them.
Weapons, ammo, mods, whatever you need.
Please tell me you know exactly what materials you need. I hope you actually need components. I hate wasting my time. It's a general store, which means I sell general goods. Mostly junk that no one else wants to carry. Raw materials, blueprints, spare parts. Fascinating, I know. Fine. Not like I have anything better to do. Whatever.
Ask Jazz about any ship upgrades. Nothing worse than a pirate ship with no personality.
Need something? These materials don't sell themselves.
The right protective gear can make all the difference. Heading out. May, want to look into some armor upgrades first. See ya.
start something, 'cause I'll finish it.
Don't even try to rip me off. I know value when I see it. I hope you came with credits. I sell a little bit of everything, but only if it's hard to find, and only for a high price. Neuroamps, a few unique resources, maybe a specialized weapon or two. Anything that's rare and in high demand. I was raised fleet. My mama joined up when I was 12. She was a first-class smuggler. We'd always lived comfortably, but she took the offer to join when a job almost went south. She figured if anything ever happened to her, it'd guarantee I'd still have a home. My mama taught me everything I need to know to get by in this world. I may not have fancy degrees, but I know how to survive and live the life I want to live, which is more than I can say for most of the people in the settled systems. We can talk about whatever you want, as long as you got the creds. Don't be a stranger.
Hear about Rake? The new Rook killed him.
You've got to be kidding me. I just paid him back the creds I owed him. I should have just shipped him and been done with it.
Yeah, that was your first mistake. Paying him back.
The captain's here. Don't put up with any shit. Certainly not from the Rooks.
What do you need?
First time visiting the infirmary, huh? Let me give you a piece of advice. Try not to get into too many bar fights. I'm trying to save my dwindling supplies for sale and pirates coming in off of raids. I've done my time, but thanks to a malpractice suit, I've officially dropped the doctor title. Don't let that worry you. I'm still just as good, if not better, than half the surgeons at the clinic. That's what they all say, until they stumble in bleeding out on my floor. So here's what's what. You need medpacks, curatives, preventatives, I've got you covered. At least as long as my current supply holds out. You need enhancers, legal or illegal? I've got those too. In the fleet, someone has to do it, so it may as well be me. This way, I've got a good idea of who's on what and how much. If they come in for any real medical treatment, I know exactly what I'm dealing with. Hopefully, that won't be often. Now, if you don't need anything else, I've got a particularly annoying supply issue to deal with. I'll be the judge of that. Minor damage. Just so you know, I'm still charging you. Next time you want to waste my time, you better be bleeding out. Be careful. I don't have endless supplies, you know.
I'm sick of using the trade authority to clean goods. Radley's the real thief on this station. Man, I get so tired of pirates on this station patting themselves on the back. I killed this, I stole that. Shut the hell up and get back to work.
Iswa's sister is some hardcore mercenary. I wouldn't get on her bad side.
Always listen to Delgado, unless you want to get keel-hauled across the key.
Let me just ask you one final question before we wrap up.
Fine. Go ahead.
When is enough going to be enough? How many credits does Jasper Kryx need until he's satisfied?
I should have expected you to ask such a stupid question. How the hell could you ever understand? You with your fancy education and your sheltered upbringing and your cushy media job? Me, I came from nothing. Everything I own, I've literally drawn blood to gain.
There's no need to get personal. I'm simply trying to state the facts so that our listeners can make judgments of their own.
Lady, I got news for you. Half of your listeners think I'm a hero. The other half are scared out of their goddamn minds, and they should be.
Perhaps we should talk about something else.
No, that's it. We're done. Can you guys get her the hell out of here? Make sure she takes all this sound equipment with her.
Well, that's it then. Thank you for your...
Actually, before you go, Gale, there's one more thing I would like to say.
Yes, of course. What is it?
When you broadcast this interview on SSNN, I want you to remember that I'll be listening. If you edit even one word or manipulate my voice to change anything I've said, I will hunt you down and kill you. In front of everyone. Do you understand?
I understand. You have my word.
UC will never crush the fleet. They'd have to catch us first.
Visiting with the Crimson Fleet, eh? Always a pleasure.
Here to upgrade that ship of yours? Ship services? You need it, I've got it.
I don't mind helping, but it'll cost you. Sounds like fun. Let's see what I've got.
Trust shielding. I got secret compartments on my ship just in case. Protects our own, but you turn against us, and you're dead. Yeah?
Rook.
What are you looking at?
Captain on deck.
Your clothes clean, your boots polished, your mirror shine.